Okay, I was displaying some pictures of the Norwegian Dawn cruise ship, and also from the some magic shows that are happening within the cruise. All right, pretty interesting. I really enjoy seeing those type of things. As for me, I will say that it's one of my dreams to get in on a cruise ship as a guest, of course, because I don't have too much of the capabilities for working, like for that, because I've been teaching English and so. But yeah, I would like to get into a cruise, in a cruise ship, maybe for the Bahamas, I will say, or maybe for Europe. They are not too expensive, not too expensive, but for some of the things, for the requirements, you need a visa. So that's kind of a trouble for me because I don't have a visa. That's one of the things that I need to sort out if I'm going to get on a ship of soon. Okay, so Anna, please, do you remember what was the subject yesterday? What we were discussing yesterday?
Em, Fue lo de las emergencias de los cruceros, no recuerdo cómo decirlo,
Okay.
como sobrevivencia con cosas básicas.
Okay, so ¿alguien tiene la frase como exacta del curso, digamos, del área que cubre todo eso?
Si no estoy mal, es el curso básico para embarcarse. Es técnicas de salvamento y cabotaje en embarcaciones.
Okay, so that's pretty good. The first one for English, in English, el primer módulo, por así decirse, o el primer curso de la certificación del Basic Safety es Personal Survival Techniques. Personal Survival Techniques, remember. Eso es lo que estuvimos platicando ayer. PST, si quieren como que tener un poquito más claro porque ellos también usan las frases. PST, Personal Survival Techniques. Okay, so Byron wasn't here, so we were discussing about that first module, Personal Survival Techniques. There are a lot of techniques that involve dealing with a crisis situation when you are abandoning ship, okay? How to deal with all the crises between that moment, okay? And there was a place where we are going to get soon as the alarm is signaled. Hay un lugar al que tenemos que ir. ¿Se recuerdan cuál era el lugar? El punto de reunión. Bueno, eso sería más como que para Ana, Danilo y Tito, porque estuvieron aquí, pero no hay problema. O sea, es un punto de reunión y tiene su nombre en inglés. Okay, that's pretty good, Danilo. So Monster Station, that's the place where I need to go because everything, is in problems. So I need to go there to follow instructions. Monster Station. Monster Station. Ana, do you remember one technique when you are dealing with this abandoned ship signal?
Keep dry.
All right, pretty good. Keep dry, okay? You need to keep dry at all times. Do you know why, Danilo? Why do we need to keep ourselves dry? Or Tito, if you want, it doesn't matter.
To avoid
Hypothermia, okay? Hypothermia, esa es una palabra así clave, ¿verdad? Hypothermia es muy parecida a la de nosotros, hipotermia, solo que cambia el inicio. Hypothermia. Okay, Byron, so yesterday we were discussing a lot of techniques. Today and all the following classes, it's all about technical knowledge of this basic safety training. Así que ya dejamos como que el manera de inglés, de cómo pues formar el inglés o cosas por el estilo. hacia nuestro contenido técnico completamente, ¿ok? Que ustedes vayan ya conociendo muchas palabras en inglés. Hay un curso que es el curso por requerimiento legal para que alguien trabaje en un crucero o en una embarcación de 24 metros para arriba, que es este STCW, ¿okay? STCW Basic Training, Basic Safety. Igual de repente alguien sabe Basic Safety Training, ¿ok? Así que solo podemos, sin eso no podemos trabajar, como que conocer training, ¿ok? Standards of Training, Certification, and Watchkeeping. That means that it's a certification that you are going to get from a company, from the Navy, I don't know. Usually it's from companies that you are going to be there for 1 week doing that course, practical course, and also theoretical course. ¿Okay? Así que es un curso de una semana que les dan muchas empresas a las personas, tienen certificaciones, o sea, esas empresas ya están certificadas para dar esa certificación, and usually it's going to range from $100 to $1,000 for that basic training, okay? And it's a set of different modules. Okay, can you read Byron, please? The bold one.
Excuse me, teacher, repeat, please.
Puede leer lo que está en negrita. Le voy a poner acá.
Okay. What is teacher number 1?
Please.
5 fruiting and 5 presentation. That
Okay.
practical course that teaches you how to use the fire fighting equipment on board your ship in the event of a fire. Only teacher or
Ok, lo que estaba en negrita, los títulos, le había dicho.
Excuse me, teacher, okay. Personal and social responsibilities. Personal survival techniques. Elementary fear hate. Providing insecurity awareness.
Okay, very good. So, what this means, this course of the safety training, el curso de safety training involucra esas 5 partes, okay? The first one, firefighting and fire prevention. Really critical issue. So, as for that training, en esos entrenamientos viene que tienen 2.5 días en eso, o sea, que es una cosa bastante, que hacen bastante énfasis, ¿verdad? Firefighting and fire prevention. Okay? How to use the firefighting equipment on board your ship in the event of a fire. Personal and social responsibilities is how to deal with your colleagues, okay? Safety procedures on board, responsibilities, okay? Living and working on board of a ship. This was yesterday's, topic. Eso fue lo que vimos ayer. Personal survival techniques. That's for 1 day of survival techniques, abandoning ship, equipment found on board. This course includes a practical session in a swimming pool. Ese normalmente entonces ahí sí los tiran al agua, dijera, para lo que es cómo empezar a nadar. Bueno, o sea, no nadar, sino qué tienen que hacer. And do you remember maybe a technique, Ana, Danilo, Tito?
Disculpe, teacher.
Yes.
Teacher, perdón. Esos son los cursos básicos, ¿verdad?
La certificación es la STCW, ¿verdad? The Personal Basic Safety. Y esa incluye estos 5 apartados, ¿verdad? Para esa certificación. Esa certificación es el requerimiento mínimo legal para que alguien trabaje en un barco de más de 24 metros. ¿De acuerdo? Entonces, tenemos varias áreas. Nosotros vamos a cubrirlas de manera teórica, ¿sí? Obviamente, pues no, pienso que van a tener algún tipo de certificación de esta cuando estén completando sus formaciones en la naval, ¿verdad? So that's the thing. Esta es la manera con la que, la primera certificación, ¿ok?
Teacher, excuse me,
Ujú.
una pregunta. ¿Hay que ir otra vez? O yo tengo los de Honduras, pero no sé si hay que ir de nuevo a la naval. Solo es una
Es que
duda que
dura
surgió.
5 años, no sé hace cuánto lo sacó.
Sí, ya los fui a renovar el mes, hace 3, 4 meses, perdón.
Ah, nítido. Sí,
Ajá.
en verdad, el curso de INTECAP es solo un clon de todo esto teórico para que ustedes sepan palabras, vocabulario, cosas así. ¿Va?
Ok.
No nos podemos meter como que a cosas prácticas ni como a certificarlos en eso, ¿va? Porque en verdad, INTECAP no ha abarcado esa área. Sería bueno que la abarcara, pero tendría que ser un ente certificador de estos cursos, ¿verdad? Como ahí, como me dicen en Honduras, ¿verdad? Que ahí pues hay un lugar donde hizo todo el entrenamiento y un
Ujú.
poquito de teoría y así va.
Ah,
¿Ok?
exacto.
All right. So, personal survival techniques. Ana, Danilo, or Tito, do you remember one of the techniques when you are in the water? Una de las técnicas cuando estamos en el agua.
I think survival craft or
Okay. To get to a survival craft, that's
yes, but
okay.
I don't remember.
Okay, don't worry, don't worry. Ahí como que al final son cosas bastante nuevas, ¿va? Que
Out of
estamos.
position.
All right. Huddle position. ¿Qué es eso? What's that, Ana?
El agua.
Sí, no le logré escuchar por ahí.
Una posición.
Ok. Sí, por ahí lo estoy escuchando, solo que parece que tiene un poquito ahí de problemas con la señal. Tito, do you remember the huddle position? Huddle position, eso es clave ustedes que la sepan, eso sí es obligatorio. Si no, planchados hoy.
Yes, huddle es en grupo, teacher. Huddle.
Okay, huddle. And do you
Yeah.
remember what was the basic thing for doing
Is
it?
in group and find circle.
Okay, in circle. So you
Yep.
should get, into circles, and also the huddle position can be with two persons, okay? To
Two person
embrace,
or more.
okay? To embrace the other person, to intertwine the legs, entrelazar las piernas, intertwine the legs, okay? And to move the least possible, okay? The least possible. All right, so Anna wrote that. Te pones en posición como sentado, por decirlo así, y te tomas de las manos. Si hay niños, you are going to place the child in the middle. ¿Ok? Byron, pues, creo que tiene el curso, ¿verdad? Lo hizo. Pues,
Sí, correcto,
¿hicieron
teacher.
algo similar a lo que estamos hablando?
Sí, teacher, se hizo varios cursos de eso para
¿Ok?
sobrevivir y guardar calor y no poder morir de hipotermia, pues aguantar un par de, venga, tal vez 1 o 2 horas.
Yes. Not too much. No hay como que aguantar toda la noche, incluso porque
No,
en la madrugada eso empieza a ser como un témpano, ¿verdad? Do you remember the rate? ¿Recuerdan los de ayer la tasa a la que uno pierde el calor del cuerpo?
25.
25 times. Okay. We start losing all our heat. Empezamos a perder calor, pero a manera muy rápida. So one technique is to get on a raft or get into something to get out of the water. You need to get out of the water fast. Okay. we are going to have the lifeboats, survival, rafts, life rafts also. Okay, so that's a typical situation, crisis situation. That's not really easy to handle. No es una situación muy para nada bonita de manejar, ¿verdad? When you have to abandon ship. That's we have a lot of stories from big cruises, and one of them is the Concordia. I don't know if you remember. If you watch this in the news, Costa Concordia disaster. It was a big ship, okay? It was a big cruise. Okay, we have the rigid lifeboats in the foreground. Okay, these ones seems like they couldn't get this to the water. Okay, ¿se recuerdan de haber visto eso? Okay, let's have some reading. Les voy a hacer un poquito más grande esto para que puedan leer. Mucho. Okay, I think that's that. Okay, I'm going to mark, les voy a marcar lo que van a leer. Ana, please. Igual si tiene problemas, me dice, va, si tiene problemas con el audio.
Costa Concordia ran aground.
Right, so when you are ready, just tell me. Cuando esté lista y me dice, don't worry. Byron, please.
Yes, teacher.
Can you read the gray part? Lo que está ahí marcado. Les voy a ir marcando ahí lo que van leyendo.
Okay. And 13 January 412, the Italian cruise ship Costa Concordia ran aground, capsized, and lay sand in the shallow water after sinking. And underwater, rock of Isola Giglio to scanner resulting in 32 deaths.
Okay, so kind of devastating, right? On 13, careful with the teen, ¿verdad? Mucho ojo ahí con los teen, ¿verdad? De 14, 13, siempre van a salir eso, ¿verdad? January 2012, puede ser 2012 or 2012. 2012, the Italian cruise ship Costa Concordia ran aground, capsized, and later sank in shallow waters after striking es pegar. Strike es pegar. Strike. Por eso dicen the base, 1 strike, 2 strikes, 3 strikes. An underwater rock off Isola del Giglio, Tuscany, resulting in 32 deaths. Not good, right? Not good. Let's move to Danilo, please.
The 8-year-old Costa Cruises vessel was on the first leg of a cruise around the Mediterranean Sea when it departed from its planned route at Isola de Giglio, sailed closer to the island and struck a rock formation on the sea floor.
All right, so the 8-year-old Costa Cruises vessel es la compañía Costa Cruises vessel was on the first leg of a cruise around the Mediterranean. That's pretty good. Sea when it deviated from its planned route. Route. Ese solo la uva. Route. Route. Como el nombre que usamos. Route. At Isola, Isola del Giglio. Sailed closer to the island. Island. Ahí recuerda que island se le quita la S completamente. And struck a rock formation on the seafloor. A big mistake. A really big mistake. Un super error, ¿verdad? Irse tan cerca de la isla. All right. Let's move now to Tito, please.
Although a 6 hours rescue effort brought most of the passengers ashore, 33 people died, 27 passengers, 5 crew, and later 1 member of the salvage team.
Okay, so that was, terrible. That's terrible situation. Although that's going to be with O completely. Although, con O complete. Okay, although a 6-hour rescue effort brought most of the passenger ashore, 33 people died, 27 passengers. Imagine the problems for the company, 5 crew, and later 1 member of the salvage team. Okay, a subsequent investigation focused on shortcomings in the procedures followed by the Costa Concordia's crew and the actions of its captain, Francesco Cettino, who left the ship prematurely. Okay, se fue del barco, miren. Left the ship prematurely. About 300 passengers were left on board the sinking vessel. Okay, most of whom were rescued by helicopter or motorboats in the sea. Cettino was later found guilty of manslaughter in connection with the disaster and sentenced to 16 years in prison. Despite receiving its own share of criticism, Costa Cruises and its parent company, Carnival Corporation, did not face criminal charges. Costa Concordia was officially declared a constructive total loss by the cruise line's insurer, and its salvage was one of the biggest maritime salvage operations. Okay, on 16 September 2013, the part buckle salvage of the ship began. Part buckle. And by the early hours of 17th of September, the ship was set upright on its underwater cradle. The ship was refloated by large metal tanks called sponsons. Oh, ya no salió. Okay, so that's for this evacuation. We have evacuation and all the history for that. Okay, so there are a lot of those big mistakes, also from the Titanic. Pues puesto en película, ahora hay una película muy dramática y todo. So that's for all the things that can happen. Okay, can happen for that type of issues. Okay. So that's for the personal survival techniques. That's where the crew needs all those personal survival techniques to ensure, like Byron said, that we can get longer survival time until help arrives, hasta que la ayuda llega. Okay. Also, elementary first aid, and proficiency in security awareness. Okay. This is not like too kind of an important thing, and personal survival techniques, but all of the matters for this one is to be prepared. Okay, to be prepared. So let me get the video from yesterday. I have also an example of the certificate. Okay, these are examples of the certification: name of the training institution, address, certificate number, registration number. All right, your name, the course. This is a refresher training. What's the meaning of refresher? ¿Quién sabe qué es refresher? Refresher es actualización. Como nos decía Byron, pues acaba de hacer su actualización porque tienen 5 años los certificados. All right. Así que siempre hay que tenerle como que mucho cuidado a eso, ¿verdad? para que no nos quedemos sin poder trabajar. This is a refresher training for proficiency in fast rescue boats. Miren, esa de safe parte del barco, cada persona va a tener varias rutas de certificación. This is for proficiency in fast rescue boats. ¿Okay? De que yo pueda maniobrar los botes rápidos de rescate. ¿Ok? Aquí está todo como que todo el tema legal, ¿verdad? Signatures, authorized officials. ¿Ok? So that's the thing. Even, bueno, si usted igual nos pudiera compartir, si lo tuviera a la mano ahí, Byron, sería bonito para sus compañeros, para que puedan
¿Cuál teacher?
ver ahí.
Los certificados.
Yes,
Que
please.
estamos-
O sea, cuando lo tenga, ahí lo pone. But don't worry, don't worry, no es que lo tenga que hacer ahorita, ¿ok?
Other teachers.
Don't worry. Pero ahí cuando lo tenga a la mano, pues igual nos lo,
Okay.
para enterarnos un poquito. Okay, so this is the video. No sé si les envié este video, pienso que sí. O pienso que no. Este video es el que vimos ayer, ¿vale? Están las técnicas de unos PDFs que les puse también, que está ya sintetizado todo. No sé si se los puse. Creo que no. Lo voy a poner de nuevo. Bueno, o bien lo hacen acá o bien lo envían en la clase, pero este dura 15 minutos. Y la clase dura mucho más. ¿No? Ok, había puesto el anterior. Okay, so these all the techniques here are from those materials or those PDFs. So please, are you ready, Anna? Can you read this, please?
Technique. Enter survival craft dry, and that is triggered by master stationing card.
Okay, so the technique is to enter the survival craft dry and as instructed by the master station in charge. Okay. Okay. Byron, please, can you read this?
Technique, lower way, cut the painter, and they move away to a safer distance.
Okay, so technique, lower away, cut the painter, and move away to a safer distance. So the boat painter, that's a rope. Painter is the synonym of rope. Okay. A painter is a rope, all right, that is attached to the bow. Okay, of a dinghy. Dinghy is a small boat, but let's have the correct pronunciation for that, because it can be dinghy. Dinghy, okay, dinghy. And let's hear
bow,
bow.
bow,
Bow. Es un poquito de A.
bow,
Bow.
bow,
Entre A y O, ¿verdad? Bow.
bow,
Bow. Bow. Es un más hacia la O, pero se mete un poco de A. Bow.
bow,
Okay, so that's a rope. A painter is a rope that is attached to the bow of a dinghy or other small boats and used for tying up or towing. Okay. Have this pronunciation.
towing,
Towing. La W no va tan fuerte. Towing. Ideally, the painter should float if used on a boat with a propeller. The length of the painter should be shorter than the distance to the propeller to prevent falling the engine. Okay, so that's a rope. And we have different knots, different knots. Hay diferentes nudos también para todas las cosas estas. Hay una certificación en nudos ustedes también. Imagínense cómo va la cosa.
Marine Perth, Mark Morby. It's just given me some tips of what I can convey to you guys about how best to tie your boat up, tender tipping boat that is. So I've got a line here which is designed to float. It's very important you have a line that floats, a strand or 3 braid, which has a bit of stretch in it. Now this is secured to the strongest point of the tender, which is the U-bolt and the bow. You don't tie this, it's not designed to take weight, it's a fair leg. So always tie the bow line or painter to the U-bolt and bow. Another tip is, so you've got your floating in the length of the boat. The reason for that is, what often happens is people leave the lines inside the boat here and you're driving along and the waves grab this line and they pull it over. All of a sudden you've run up. So you're zooming along, doing your 20 knots, 30, just come around here and the props picked it up and it's wrapped around here. All of a sudden you've argued your engine stalled because this line's just jammed it up. The problem is pulled up to untie it. So you can't do anything, you can't drive your boat, you can't lift the engine. So the next thing is you've got to jump overboard with a knife and start cutting. So always make sure your main painter finishes.
Okay. Some tips. Hay una industria muy grande que es la de los yates. Es una industria muy, muy grande, ¿verdad? En los Estados Unidos. Y hay gente, pues, también que se dedica a, o sea, tripulaciones de yates, ¿verdad? Pero no siempre son como cruceros, también hay yates y super yates en donde siempre van a tener esa necesidad de personas certificadas. All right. Set technique. Lower away, cut the painter, and move away to a safer distance. Okay, so we are now once inside the lifeboat or the life raft. Okay, cuando ya estamos adentro, pues we already did all the techniques in a good way previously, and we are now inside the lifeboat or the life raft. But the thing is that it doesn't stop there. You need to continue having the techniques, all right? Okay, I think this is for Danilo, right?
Provide rescue boat to save a person from water. These are 3-meter long rope and ring. Both will float in water.
Okay, rescue. Bueno, esa es una palabra así, pienso muy francesa. Quote, pero vamos a ver cómo la dicen acá. Quote.
Rescue quoit.
Quote.
Rescue
así
quoit.
como está, ¿verdad? Quote, solo que la O no va. Quote, no, sí, también
Rescue
va
quoit.
normal. Quote. Quote.
Rescue quoit.
Rescue quote. 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 No nos olvidemos de la K. Quote. And what's that? Rescue quote. El denominado salvavidas para nosotros, ¿verdad? And it includes a 30 meter rope, 30 meter long rope. It is a 30 meter long rope and a ring, both with float in water, both with the drills. And when you do the drills, drill es el entrenamiento o el ensayo, drill. También es barrenar, ¿verdad? Barreno, drill. Rescue, vean que ahora ya pasan como que bastantes cosas del safety training, ¿eh? Y así empieza como que YouTube a tirar más cosas. Rescue.
Rescue quoit.
Quo. Metemos en cuota ahí. Cuota. Quoit. Quoit. Rescue quoit. Drill. This is accessories.
itong banda rito. Okay. O, ayan. Dapat sa... Okay, balik sa circle. Ipasok mo sa braso mo yan. Saan mo ipapasok? Sir, kunin mo yung pangalawa. Yung tali lang kunin mo. Point mananatili sa'yo. Yan, pasok mo sa'yo. Paikot. Sige, go. Yakot lang. Huwag mo nang hindi na ano sa ulo. Hila lang. Sige, hila lang. Yung pasa labas. Yan, pasa. Hanggang makaabot yan. Huwag nyo ilalagay sa labas ng ulo. Okay. O, ayan yung karugtong yan. Doon na mapunta sa kabila yung karugtong. Maikot. O, sir, ipasok yung dulo ng tali na yun. Nasaan yung may rescue point? Balik. Nakanina yung may rescue point. Tamo, itali na yan. Sa kanan. Yan. Okay, sir, yung tali naman, huwag mong ihilain. Itatalayin mo na ito. Tali, bilis, kinos. Huwag na, buhol na sa life rock. Okay, balik sa circle. Okay, ang tali papunta dito, sa side na ito, paikot. Sir, kunin mo yung pangalawa. Yung tali, abot, pasa, paikot ito. Go, paikot. Sige, go. Yakot lang. Huwag mo nang hindi na ano sa ulo. Pasa. Hanggang makaabot yan. Huwag nyo ilalagay sa labas ng ulo. Okay. Maikot. O, sir, ipasok yung dulo ng tali na yun. Nasaan yung may rescue point? Balik. Nakanina yung may rescue point. Kanina may rescue point. Ikaw? O, doon sa kabila mo. Itatali naman. Dalhin doon sa hagdanan. Standby. Huwag kayong gagalaw. Huwag mong ihilain. Itatali mo na ito. Tali, bilis. Kinos. Ayan. So, itali mo dyan. 3 minutes. Okay, isado ng content, isado. Yan, okay na. Okay, ngayon ang mangyayari, sir, ang fast rescue boat actually, i-area yung rescue point dahan-dahan.
Ni el Google logra entender eso. All right, let's continue. Pronunciation for this, Anna, this word.
Quiet.
Okay, Byron. The same.
Wait.
Okay, Danilo.
Point.
Y Tito, las dos. Rescue quote. Quote. Así como está. Quote. Okay.
Rescue quote.
Quote. Esa es de las palabras que en verdad le sale todas las vocales. Es rara. ¿Ah? So we use a rescue quote to save a person from water. Okay, I think this is for Tito, right?
Activate APIRB ANC position indicating radio page beacon.
Okay, technique activate RB. Emergency position indicating radio. And let's take a look at this. Beacon. Entonces no digo la palabra. Beacon. Emergency position indicating radio beacon. Okay, this is the symbol. Radio baliza.
Subscribe to our channel by clicking the subscribe button. Click the bell button and enjoy the latest uploads from our channel.
The system of modern 406 MHz satellite EPIRBs became operational in 1989. Designated as Category 1 or automatic
EPIRB. Ya así como completo.
or manual,
No
these units operate on a dedicated rescue frequency to provide worldwide all-weather distress signaling capability. The 1995 introduction of GOES, or geostationary Earth-orbiting satellites, gave the system. Today, activating a 406 MHz EPIRB provides authorities with all of the information contained on the owner's EPIRB registration and identification card within 6 to 10 minutes. Data from polar orbiting satellites gives them the EPIRB's precise position as soon as the satellites are in proper orientation. Depending on your location, this occurs within a period ranging from a matter of minutes to a few hours. An older system of Class A and Class B units broadcasting at 121.5 and 243 megahertz remains operational. These are civilian and military distress frequencies that are monitored by satellites and aircraft. While the older units still work, they don't offer all of the benefits of the 406 megahertz system. The older EPIRB system leaves large portions of the world entirely unconnected, and the shared broadcast frequencies suffer from interference and false alarms. Class A units no longer satisfy regulatory requirements and should be used only for backup. Class B units remain popular options, primarily as personal units for mariners whose vessels operate in covered areas. Before you rely on one of the older units, be sure you understand its limitations. EPIRBs are designated as either automatic or manual. Automatic units must be installed in a manner that permits them to float free from a sinking vessel. Once freed from the canister or mounting bracket, an automatic EPIRB turns itself on and assumes a correct operating position. Automatic units incorporate manual switches for activating or disarming the EPIRB. Manual units must be switched on by the user. In either case, the signal is relayed to a rescue coordination center. While the old 121.5 243 megahertz system enables authorities to determine the location of an EPIRB signal, the more stable signal provided by the 406 megahertz system provides greater accuracy and greatly improves the chance that you'll be found quickly.
Pretty interesting. EPIRB. EPIRB. Eso es bastante bonito también ver las historias de cuando rescataron a alguien. EPIRB Rescue Stories. Survive. Okay, please. Let's move to Byron. Are you ready, Byron?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, can you read this, please?
Two friends take a fishing trip 90 miles out into the Gulf of Mexico. They almost didn't return. This is their story as told by survivor Adam Triplett.
Triplet. Okay, so interesting story. Okay, they almost didn't return. Almost didn't return.
So we went out and everything was fine. We were catching 11 o'clock, went to bed. About an hour later, I just heard a loud crash and it sounded almost like a boat at us. Woke me up from a dead sleep and as soon as the water. Instantly, we had no power, no way to communicate with anybody. We're 90 miles out in the Gulf. When I discovered the water, 2 to 3 minutes, everybody's, walking all over everybody and falling all over each other in the cabin, wondering what the heck's going on. No communication, and then all of a sudden you hear a water alarm go off and starts beeping, and obviously that's not a good sign. You never want to hear that on your boat, especially 90 miles out in the Gulf of Mexico. When I looked up, I was climbing up on the tower to look around and see if I could see any lights in the horizon, signs of anything, boat, plane, anything, to set up. And I recognize it because I'm an avid boater, so I know what they look like, you know what I mean? And as soon as I seen that, it was just like, my heart pressure probably went. I was like, oh, just please work. When I flipped that switch, I was just hoping to see a light come on, you know what I mean? And as soon as it did, I felt, much more comfortable. But then, you still have the waiting process, and something that not everybody goes through or anticipates going through, especially 2 days before Christmas, That's all I could think of is not coming home with my family. On the 23rd, 2 days, 2 days later, they're wondering where I'm at for Christmas dinner, and it wouldn't have been a pleasant thing for my family, I just couldn't go through that. Said we couldn't make it through this somewhere or another, and we did. And believe me, I appreciate ACR for that.
Okay, this is another system. I will get out at sea or worse. Look, you need to get one. It can say if I ever need, you should too. Okay, they've been rescued. This is the EPIRB. Okay, another phrase, another technique, please. Anna, are you ready?
Technique. Tie the attached wires with the survival craft. Remove the safety pin and throw it in the...
Okay, technique, tie the attached lanyard. I don't know that word.
Lanyard. 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 Lanyard.
Entre A y E.
Lanyard.
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 Bueno, yard es lo normal. Yard.
Lanyard.
Yard. ¿Cómo inicia? Es la cosa. Es lo complicado tal vez.
Lanyard.
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 Entre A y E. Lanyard. Difficult word, right? Lanyard. This is the lanyard for a ship. Let's take a look. Spanish, collador, cuerda, cordón. Okay, so tie the attached lanyard with the survival craft, remove the safety pin and throw it in the sea. That's for the EPIRB. Safety pin. Okay, Byron, are you ready?
If the appear not brought to survive craft and if the vessel sinks, the appear will be released from pedestal by HRU and switched on automatic.
Okay, so, if the EPIRB was not brought to the survival craft, and if the vessel sinks, okay, the ship sinks, the EPIRB will be released from pedestal by HRU, like some automatic system, and switch on. Okay, aunque no lo traigamos a la balsa, dice que siempre pues se va a liberar de su pedestal, ¿de acuerdo? Y se va a prender, se va a encender.
Subscribe to our channel by clicking the subscribe button.
The system of modern 406 megahertz satellite EPIRBs became operational in 1989. Designated as category.
We saw.
Press the test button and release. Press the test button and release. Red light will turn on itself. Test okay. Red light will stop or flash. If self test fail, consult user manual. So यहाँ पे red light blink करेगी और फ्लैशिंग ऑफ वाइट लाइट और रेड लाइट भी ब्लिंक कर रही है, मतलब प्रॉपरली वर्क कर रहा है। सो टेस्टिंग के लिए यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है प्रोसीजर, प्लीज टेस्ट, प्रेस द टेस्ट बटन एंड रिलीज, रेड लाइट विल टर्न ऑन, रेड लाइट यहाँ पे जलेगी एज मेंशन्ड ओवर हियर। ये सेल्फ टेस्ट इज ओके, सेल्फ टेस्ट अगर सही चल रहा है देन रेड लाइट एंड वाइट स्टॉपर्स फ्लैशेस, वाइट स्टॉपर्स मीन्स फ्लैशिंग ऑफ वाइट लाइट्स, 2 बार वाइट लाइट फ्लैश करेगी और यहाँ पे एक रेड लाइट फ्लैश करेगा। इफ सेल्फ टेस्ट फेल, अगर सेल्फ टेस्ट फेल हो जाता है देन कंसल्ट द यूज़र मैनुअल। इसका यूज़र मैनुअल प्रोवाइडेड है कंपनी के द्वारा, तो वो हमको देखना पड़ेगा। लाइक वी हैव प्रेस द टेस्ट बटन, यहाँ पे रेड लाइट फ्लैश कर रही है एंड स्टॉपरिंग ऑफ वाइट लाइट ओवर हियर। सो टेस्ट इज सक्सेसफुली डन। अब इसको हम सिक्योर कर देते हैं। एक्टिवेशन के लिए ये जो प्रिकॉशनरी रेड नॉब दिया हुआ है ये निकालेंगे हम, और यहाँ पे अपना एक स्विच है, इसको राइट साइड एक्टिवेट करने के लिए मूव करेंगे, देन ये अपना ये पब एक्टिवेट हो जाएगा।
ओके, आई गॉट दैट।
देन अब इसको हम सिक्योर कर देते हैं। और ये HRU है, HRU ऑटोमेटिक एक्टिवेशन के लिए। हमारा शिप अगर 4 मीटर नीचे चले जाता है पानी के, देन ऑटोमेटिक ये कट हो जाएगा और ये रिलीज हो जाएगा। ये अंदर जाएगा ना,
नीचे से पहले नीचे से लगा।
All right, let's continue. This is the HRU. Hydrostatic release unit. Hydrostatic release unit. I think this is for Danilo, right?
It is a pressure sealing device, a sharp spring loaded knife in design at the depth of 2.5 to 4 meter. HRU wire tried, put a weight line and release the air from pedestal.
Okay, so the hydrostatic release unit, it is a pressure sensing device. A sharp spring loaded knife is inside. Sharp spring loaded knife is inside at the depth of 2.5 to 4 meter. HRU will actuate, cut a weak link and releases the EPERF from pedestal. Okay, the Coast Guard receives the EPERF position continuously. Okay, anti-C technique, take anti-C. Anti-C.
Anti-C.
Anti, más con
Anti-C.
Anti-C. Anti-C sick tablet. Take anti-C sick tablet. What's that, Tito? What's the meaning of this?
I don't know, sir.
Okay. Does anybody have a guess, a wild guess, an idea? Tablet is the same as pill for medicine. Okay. tablet. So anti-seasick is to avoid, okay, getting sick by the sea, by the movement. All right, because that's not like something really comfortable at first, and you start, you know, getting sick by all the movement of the ship.
Como una tableta de mareo, debe ser.
¿Cómo?
Es como una pastilla para el mareo, ¿no?
Eso, cabal. Okay. Anti-sea sick. Okay, contra las náuseas. And that's for the motion, or the ship's motion, okay? How the ship moves. And well, I don't know, Byron, have you been on board? ¿Ya ha estado en crucero o algo similar?
Solo a bordo de cargueros, dicho.
Well, that's
Aquí-
basically the same thing, but moving, like sailing, or just like working on the shore. ¿Solo trabajando en el muelle o sí saliendo, digamos?
No, solo el muelle que está atracado, el buque nada
Okay.
más.
Yeah, I asked that because el movimiento, no sé si alguien de ustedes, o sea, ya ha salido, pues,
Sí, teacher, yo.
okay. What can you tell us? ¿Qué nos cuenta of that experience? The first time when you are, you know, in that movement of the ship and so.
The first time is awful.
All right, that's
All
a
the
good word for
time
that.
vomit. It's just sleep all the time. It's very complicated.
Okay. A terrible feeling. No, sickness, motion sickness. Okay, and well, you start getting used to that. Empiezan a acostumbrarse, and not entirely. Well, the movement is starting to be part of your daily activities, all the movement, right? El movimiento empieza a ser parte de sus rutinas básicas, ¿ok? Y por eso es que como en las películas esas de los Piratas del Caribe, pues le decían que Johnny Depp, pues en verdad también capturaba mucho eso del movimiento, porque pues al final él caminaba así, ¿va? Con el movimiento del barco, ¿ok? Y que muchas veces no olvida, y ven, even for sleeping, that's, you know, something difficult to handle. No te queremos ver los de los vómitos, pero we have some preventions. Tenemos unas también formas de prevenirlo. Tested sickness, you have to prevent cures.
Which strikes about 2/3 of the population of what causes seizures that seem to help, and I would like to discuss them with.
Good night's sleep. If you're tired and stressed, the next thing is to not drink coffee or alcohol. You want to eat something light. You stay away from the grease is ideal. Many people consider this. They also make what's called an anchor bar. Rates in it. It has blueberries and ginger sickness. And actually a lot of carbohydrates in it also. So people swear by the bracelet that has a pressure point that you have to put it. I have not been able to get this to work for any of the people that have tried. Is to take ginger pills, and this does seem to help. By ginger candy, and these candies are really quite good. Now I want to talk about pharmacists, the patch. They're very easy to apply. However, it's very important that you realize that they can make you very drowsy and sleepy, so you don't, or piloting the boat, because you could get in trouble. Drowsiness, it's in pill form, and then you have Bodine, which is, my wife gets extremely drowsy with the Bodine. They take much longer to take effect than what the instructions will tell. Put the patch on, or to take the medicine the night before, rather than trying to take it. Next thing I want to talk about is using an earplug. I put just one earplug in one ear. I get these are very soft and very comfortable to wear, but they are totally airtight. And by putting just one in one ear only, you have works. Now I found that it seems to work best if you're right-handed to put it in your right ear. I don't quite know why, but you can experiment very deeply in the ear so that you have a really good seal.
Out of the boat. The extra weight helps balance. This can be a real problem. It is myself in, and it's much more comfortable. You also don't want to sit section of travel. So the combination of sitting on the low side.
Here is an example of someone sitting on the low side of the boat wearing an earplug in just one ear. If you can, which is an indication that you're getting seasick, there is something you can do right away. It's a very simple breathing exercise that's very effective. You take a very deep breath in through the nose and then breathe out through pursed lips. It's very simple. Find yourself feeling calm and the queasiness will go away. But you have to do it. I find often you refuse to do it. So you want to practice this at home so that you kind of get it into muscle memory. And that way you'll be able to do it when you need it.
If you don't get seasick. I hope my suggestion will spend free to leave me comments in the comments section below. Sailing tutorial videos. Thank you.
All right, pretty good. Fue mejor o peor, ¿verdad? En lo que le ayuda a la gente, dijo él, lo que le ayudaba. Video chat, earplugs, best, uno de los mejores. The earplugs, and just one, two, not both of them. Okay, I've always found the best solution. I do suffer from fully hydrated. If we're going to see that on stuff. Ship's crew members tried these ones with good results. That's one I tested to get. I've heard it, but seen other people mention it. It's sick. Excellent idea. Works well for me too. Increíble. Una manzana verde. It really helped. Las náuseas, pero una vez se iba a ir de borda. A fishing trip a success. Opposite way. It goes up to the wave. The other side, to your left side. Lean into the wave again. This keeps you vertical at all times. Sea legs. Es como ir en contra del. Bueno, creo que no lo vamos a encontrar. Es como otra técnica para ir con el movimiento. All right.
Strikes about 2/3 of the population.
2/3 de la posible que a mí también me dé. Aquí yo creo que estaba hablando, pero no lo estaba escuchando. Don't worry. That's right. Tito, please.
Six tablets avoided. You will vomit to something of fluid loss. Water will not be given. Landing to hypothermia.
Okay. So another technique. Remember, this is inside the lifeboat. Eso es dentro de la lancha o dentro de la balsa, ¿verdad? De supervivencia. So if NTC sick tablet avoided, you will vomit, like Tito said, you will vomit to compensate fluid loss leading to hypothermia. And remember, the 24 hours, the first 24 hours, you will not get any water from the crew. Okay, Anna, please.
Technique. Place runoff reflector on top of survival craft.
Okay, another technique. Place the radar reflector on top of the survival craft. Radar. That's the radar reflector. Let's take a look at the survival craft. Raft. Survival. Craft. Okay.
Lifeboat.
Yeah, that's the lifeboat also. The lifeboat. This is a free fall. Es como lo dejan caer. Lifeboat.
The coxswain should confirm that all the crew should then board the lifeboat from the rear hatch. Finally, the coxswain boards the lifeboat and closes the. After everyone is on board, confirm that the boat's drain valve has been closed. Should fasten their seatbelts and should grasp the handrail on the seat in front of them, if it is available. The operator should conduct a final check to confirm that all crew members have fastened their seatbelts and that they have not put on life jackets. Then the operator may be seated and fasten his or her seat lever. The operator starts the engine. removes the release lever securing pin, and closes the bypass valve. Pumping the release lever several times release launch. Once the launch has been completed, immediately leave the parent ship for a safer area. Never use a painter during a free-fall launch. In the event the hydraulic system, confirm that the bypass valve is open. Break the acrylic cover. Insert the emergency release handle and the stopper of the main lashing will open and the lifeboat will be launched. When a free fall is not possible due to insufficient water depth, or when the ship is in an inappropriate area for a free fall, it is possible to lower and launch the lifeboat using davit arms. When launch preparations have been completed and confirmed, switch on the hydraulic power pump. Control lever to lower the traverse and subsequently remove the hook lashing lines. Ropes to the suspension. Using the lever, position the davit arms just above the boat lifting position and adjust the fore and aft balance of the lifeboat. The crew members embark the lifeboat from the rear hatch. Take
Okay. And that's for also a certification, a proficiency in survival craft and rescue boats. Esa es otra certificación, miren, para manejar todo ese tipo de situaciones. ¿Ok? Incluso hay un examen acá. Proficiency. So radar reflector advantage. Your survival craft will be shown as 300-meter long ship in the approaching aircraft's or ship's radar screen. Okay.
If you see any ship or aircraft techniques which on start served with using hand flare or a small flat rocket, parachute, signal, and heliograph.
Okay, a lot of words, a lot of new words, un montón de palabras nuevas. Okay, if you see any ship or aircraft, okay, I think it's a type of system, SART, maybe we'll get this. Use hand flare, orange smoke float, rocket, parachute, signal, and heliograph. Veamos, creo que tienen imágenes acá. No. Exacto. Okay. The rescue radar transponder. This is it.
Let's start with SART. This is search and rescue radar transponder. आज हम इसका properly work कर रहा है कि नहीं कर रहा है. As you can see over there, a test icon. Activation के लिए इसको clockwise rotate करते हैं और testing के लिए anti-clockwise. We have to hold it for 10 seconds. And और जब हम इसकी testing करेंगे तो ये हमारा expand radar. It will show over here. यहाँ 12 blips, 12 dots show करेंगे. Requirement बताता हूँ मैं. अराउंड 300 to 500 GRT के शिप्स में एक सार्ट मैंडेटरी है और अबव 500
Dice para barcos grandes. Okay, this is the SART mountain 1 meter above sea. That's how the signal is in the radar screen. Rocket parachute signal.
Comet red parachute rocket is a long-range distress alerting signal for you day or night from a stricken vessel, lifeboat, or life raft. Hold the rocket firmly red cap at the bottom so the firing cord with the red ball attached drops down. Do not point at people or property or body. If possible, aim slightly downwind. Keep hands clear of the top and pull the red ball sharply down. Rocket-propelled projectiles will seek the wind and turn into it. The rocket will propel the red and will burn during a controlled descent suspended from a parachute for 40 seconds at 30,000 candela that is visible up to 30 nautical miles away. SOLAS requirements specify 12 lifeboats and life rafts.
All right, that's the red parachute rocket. Orange smoke flare. Orange smoke flare. Five seconds. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm going to close some of this to heliograph, que es como una manera para lanzar como un tipo de señal para que se vea en la. Okay, Danilo, please.
Technique. Focus your target aircraft or ship by looking at the hole behind the mirror.
Okay, another technique, focus your target aircraft or ship by looking at the hole behind the mirror. The hole behind the mirror. Okay, let's read this, Tita, please. Okay, please.
Register in your subconscious mind by repeating the following. Rescue team will arrive soon. I will be saved. I will join my family very soon.
All right, pretty good. So this is like something to stay positive, okay, during that crisis. So register in your subconscious mind by repeating the following. Rescue team will arrive soon. Rescue team will arrive soon. I will be saved. I will be saved. I will join my family very soon. I will join my family very soon. Okay, something that to keep in mind, and to keep a good attitude when dealing with these situations. All right. So that will be the end for today's class. Así que eso marca el final de nuestra clase. And let's continue tomorrow. Okay. So no homework for now. Have a great day. Okay. Goodbye and take care. Que estén bien ustedes. Goodbye.
Thank you. See you. Have a nice day.
Goodbye. See you around.